But Steve, when it comes to the Asia Production 250, there's only one real name that we've got to look at so far this season. Not only ARRC, but Maklada Sarapet.
Yeah, absolutely. She has been phenomenal. Last year at this race, she, if you can believe it or not, was disqualified and didn't start the last race, but she put that right so far this weekend. She got pole position. She won convincingly yesterday. She set the pace. We're about to see it now in this recap of race 1.
Bike number 44, she didn't get the best of starts yesterday and was actually led going into the first corner, but thereafter it became a procession. Once she got herself back into the lead, it became a procession, and she led from third corner right the way to the end, and the gap in the end was quite a big gap. She went slowing down. She wasn't slowing down.
Tatcha Corner, teammate, of course, team the AP Honda Racing Thailand team there in second place, tried everything he could to stay with her, but Maklada was absolutely perfect up front. She did everything that she could, and I'll tell you, she did not put a wheel wrong. Absolutely perfect. Even had time to take a hand off the handlebar there.
We'll talk about a disadvantage that will come her way in a short while, but behind them, Andy Mohammed Fadli. He is worth watching on the Kawasaki. Andy Mohammed Fadli, bike 108. He would eventually only come in 6th place, but he was involved in incidents galore, as was Ayoshi.
He was. Both the Kawasaki's out on track were giving it everything, but then this happened to Ayoshi there. He went down, just lost the rear, pushed on 2 title line, lucky to get away with that one, and managed to end the day fighting fit. So look at him today, it'd be definitely good to see. He managed to pick the bike up, but no chance of getting any points for Akiyoshi yesterday, which is a disappointment considering how well he's been running. But Andy Fadli, boy, was he pushing hard, especially through the back part of the circuit there. Irfan Arensaya getting knocked out of the way in that little clash.
Way up ahead, Maklada had won this race, but keep an eye on Andy Mohammed Fadli. He was in a real battle with Lucky Hendriansha, with Irfan Ardiansha, and there's an incident that comes into the final lap. I'm hoping we're going to see it on the highlights, that really he's really lucky to escape without crashing.
Yeah, you can almost guarantee you're about to see that, and here it is. Look at that. He catches the side of the number 16. The wheel goes flying in the air. He forgets about it in an instant, dives up the inside, doesn't get himself on the podium, but how close was that? What an incredible race.
Smiles in the pit lane. The riders love that contact. The riders love that incident, and that was the story of Andy Mohammed Fadli. You forget the Maklada won that one by a mile. We'll talk, though, about the Equalizer ruling that comes into the Asia Production 250, but we'll talk about that in just a while. Firstly, let's go down onto the pit lane where Wheeling is, I think, ready to talk to some of the top riders.
Thank you, Des. So down here on the grid, and it is very, very hot. So I'm here with Setu Rajiv. Rajiv, this year so far you've shown a very big step up in your performance in the 250cc. Share with us what changes did you make this year, or how did you prepare better for this season?
So I've been already 2 years in this category, and I've not had a good year because I had many crashes and I was learning. This year, we started a good training, and we have a good backup from Honda and good support, and I have a very good team for this year working on my bike. So that gives me a great confidence, and I feel more confident this year because I'm working hard, and I want to prove myself this year, and I will prove that.
Okay, thank you so much, Rajiv. We wish you all the best in the second race. So starting alongside Rajiv is an Indonesian rider who had his best finish yesterday in race 1. That is M. Fairozi. Fairozi, you had a great battle yesterday for third. You finished your best position in the 250 so far. How are you looking forward to race 2 today?
Yeah, today I'm very good. Feeling is good. I'm fight to be number 1 in race 2, and I will very enjoy in this race and Gaspol.
All right, thank you so much, Fairozi. Good luck for your second race. And now we're gonna go slightly further down to the grid to see a Vietnamese rider that's doing very well in the 250cc class. this season. That is Chao Vietnam. Nam will be starting from P19, but so far this season he's been consistently picking up points, and this weekend he's actually doing double duty because he has also been competing in the Honda Thailand Talent Cup, where he already picked up 2 podiums. So Nam, very, very busy week for you. You've been racing in the 250 and also in the Honda Thailand Talent Cup. Congratulations for 2 podiums there in 2nd and 3rd. How are you looking forward to the 2nd race and your last race this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend I working very hard, but now only 1 race for this weekend. I try in all the best, my best, thinking how can try for top 15.
Okay, thank you so much, Nam. Good luck for the 2nd race, and we will throw it back to Des and Steve in the studio.
Good work, Hui Ling. She does terrific work down on the tracks. Good insight as well. Good that she's focused on Sethu Rajiv and Cao Vietnam, some of the guys further down the track. Our focus, though, Steve, is going to be on McLaren. Now, we really enjoyed her racing yesterday, but this morning...
Yeah, it didn't go her way in the morning warm-up. The back came around and she got shot over the handlebars. You can see that that was McLaren just warming up for today. So she doesn't start the race in the perfect condition. You can see she's just clicking back through the gears there. The bike goes sideways and it gets grip and violently throws her down. So you've got to think that she's a little bit beaten up, but otherwise she's okay. I wouldn't let something like that slow her down. Look, she's still got that smile on her face, and you know when she's smiling, she's it doesn't necessarily means that she's happy. It means that she's determined, and she needs to be, because as we'll explain when the race goes on, she's got a little bit of a handicap this time out.
There's always an incident, a little bit of a cream or spray on the back, because as you say, she will have taken a physical battering from hitting that that tarmac. But when yesterday, 2 wins so far, 4 podiums in 5 races so far for McLaren Sabwet. First at Sepang after a DNF, 3rd and 2nd in Adelaide, and then a 1st yesterday. 4 pole positions, 6 front row starts. It's been a pretty impressive season for her. Alongside her on the 1st row of the grid, Irfan Ardiansa from the Astra Honda Racing team. Now, we have a theory that Astra Honda are just holding something back this season. Irfan Ardiansa, although he is in 5th place in the standings, he picked up a 3rd place yesterday for his 2nd podium. There's an equalizer situation going on in the AP 250. Talk to me about that, Steve.
Well, this year a new rule introduced, and up to this race, the only 2 bikes that have had the rule applied is Andy Fadley and Aki Oshii. It's the Equalizer Rule. That means if any rider at any time in the year is 25 points ahead of the person in 5th place, they will get 500 RPM taken off of their RPM limit of their machine. So effectively, if your bike revs to 11,000, it can only rev to 10,500. That is for the rest of the year. Now, yesterday, McLaren didn't have that rule applied. Today, she has got 500 RPM less than she had yesterday. So today, the Equalizer Rule will be affecting 3 bikes on the grid. The 2 Kawasaki's and McLaren in pole position. That is to keep a nice tight field. Do the teams like it? No. Do we like it? Yes, and that's all that matters.
Look after yourself, Steve Martin. Quite right, too. As you say, though, it lasts for the rest of the season, and that does give the riders who've had a poor start to the season, maybe the likes of Arwin Sanjay, the Astra Honda Racing guys, they're maybe just holding their powder dry at the moment.
The other thing it does is, let's just say that the Kawasaki's, not that they are, but I'm just using them for an example, let's just say that they've got an advantage over some of the other bikes. Theoretically, they will be faster, so the Kawasaki's will be near the front, and they will be brought back to the pack. So it equals the bikes out as well. So it's a good rule for everybody. It's been accepted. Everyone's pretty happy about it.
McLaren Sarapet is on pole position. She won rather easily yesterday. It's a bit more difficult for her today. She is on pole position, AP Honda Racing, alongside Astra Honda's Irfan Ardiansa. And Tachikon Boisri, he got himself a podium yesterday as well, and has had a good couple of rounds in Adelaide and here. Andy Mohamed Fadli enjoyed his efforts yesterday on the Ninja. Piawat, again, his second round of the season. And Ayoshi, who we had a little look at, the number 37, the 19-year-old from Japan. Onto the third row of the grid, Setu Rajiv looking to improve on yesterday's pointless performance. Mohamed Fairozi, who had his best performance of the season, is alongside Sutipa, one of the Yamaha Thai Racing Team competitors. Rafi Topan Susito from Indonesia, alongside Anggi Setiawan. Both those riders capable of getting into the top area, as is Arwin Sanjay from Astra Honda Racing. There's the front four rows of the grid. Onto row 5, Muzuki Mohammed from Malaysia, Sawapal Nilapong from Yamaha Thai Racing, and Lucky Hendriansha, Lucky 4th place in the standings. He had a win in Sepang and has picked up points in every race since. Ray Ratukuri on the Yamaha for the 1XOX team. Nazrul Izzat Baharudin from 1XOX team again in P17, and P18 is Mohammed Ilam. Chao Vietnam, he's as Wheeling said, had a busy weekend on the CBR 250. Senthil Chandrasekaran would like to pick up some points at least. He didn't pick up any yesterday, and Charles Shazras, same for him on the Yuzi Honda Racing team. Lu Jun Mei and Mu Nakahara, they had their own little battle between themselves, the two women lower down on row 8, and Harith Hazik in P24 from the Sepang International Circuit Junior Racing team. And then on to row 9. The Johnson boys from BRB Racing, both on the Kawasaki Ninjas. Kevin and Stuart will be looking after a little bit of a personal brotherly pride.
It's always good to see those guys battling for family pride, as you say. Massive race ahead for these guys, and I'll tell you, it's going to be an absolute cracker. If it's anything like the race yesterday, I'm looking forward to seeing this one. Des McLarder, keep an eye on her. She was pretty dominant yesterday, but with the new rule apply, 500 RPM less for her, as well as the two Kawasaki's now. It's going to be interesting to see how that comes into effect. There is Fujiwara. We saw, he's the man that Akiyoshi was talking about, his idol, watching on.
The other Kawasaki competitor, Andy Mohamed Fadli. When the red flag moves away, the red lights will go and will be ready for what will be race 2 of the weekend, the Idemitsu Asia Road Racing Championship. McLaren, bike 44, gets away to a sluggish start once again, is able just to pick it up a little bit, but she is going into the first corner in 3rd place. Leading the way is Tachikon Boisri, and McLaren tries immediately to get herself back into P2. She has indeed done that, but a solid start there from Tachikon. Yeah,
exactly what Tachikon needed to do. He was second in the turn 1 yesterday, but he didn't make that mistake today. There's Irfan there on the number 16 machine. Andy Fadley's there as well in that top 4 as it breaks up. And look at McLaren up the inside already. She's moved herself into the front, and looks like Andy Fadley's gone through as well.
Andy Fadley in the green-clad Kawasaki, 2nd place behind McLaren Saropek, as they come out to the long straight. McLaren, by this stage already, was beginning to pull away yesterday. Interested to see what the restrictions to her ability will produce for her. From a technical point of view, what does the equalizer mean from a riding point of view? How do you have to adjust?
Well, you have to change your gearing for a start, because you need to have a longer gear, which means the bike will accelerate that little bit slower, and you might not have the same gear ratios as you had yesterday. So unless she was smart not using that 500 RPM yesterday, she's in a world of trouble, because she's gone into this race with an untested product at the moment. You can already see Andy Fadley now is right up where he needs to be, and it's absolutely working, this rule.
He's taken Mohamed Fairouzi alongside him with him as well. You're quite right. This time yesterday, McLaren was already pulling away. There's Ayoshi on the 2nd of the Kawasaki's as they come into corner 12 at the end of lap 1. It is Saropek who is leading the way, and she takes a nice angle. Fairouzi will be in 4th place, Andy Mohamed Fadli 3rd, and 2nd will be Tachikon, but it's a much, much closer race, this AP 250, than it was this time yesterday.
the other thing about this rule, just while we've got the action going on track, is that let's just say that McLaren continues to win. If she gets another set of points further on, she can lose another 500 RPM. So it's an ongoing balancing rule, and I'll tell you, it's definitely going to come into effect from this point on in this championship.
As if racing isn't difficult enough. Setu Rajiv, by the way, held on to his 8th place. Arvind Sanjaya has made a move up, though. He's into P7, just at the tail end of ARRC on the second of the green Kawasaki's. But leading the way is Tachiko Boisri, who only got introduced to this series in Adelaide. Had a couple of races there. He did well yesterday. And Tachiko has dragged alongside him Irfan Ardiansa in the pink helmet. Easy to pick out that pink helmet.
Yeah, look at McLaren now. She's been sucked back into the pack. She's about 6th or 7th now in that pack, so definitely not having it all her own way. And that's number 188 machine. That's Piawat out there too. Oh, the hand goes up there from, I think that could have been either Piawat or Sanjaya, who ran off the track there, the Astra Honda racing rider with Sanjaya there. Of course, you think that they're holding back? I don't think so, because they really do need to get a move on. They were the dominant team in this championship last year, struggling a little bit now. Almost like the Thailand AP Honda team have taken over.
Talking of struggling, McLaren has dropped back into, well, way back, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th at the moment. Am I missing as they go through? We'll have a closer look at McLaren. Leading the way is Tachikon, Irfan, Piawat, Andy Mohammed Fadli, Owen Sanjay, Fairuzi, Ayoshi, Lucky Hendriansha. Where is McLaren? She is back in P15.
Yeah, she's got, I reckon she's got some issue, but here's that restart, and it was a great start by Busarai. Tachikon Busarai just got off the line. McLaren, not so good. Irfan there in the middle with the pink helmet also got a good start, and McLaren already knew by this point that it was going to be a hard race.
Well, I'm really interested to see what's gone on with McLaren, because she's 0.381 of a second down. There's Irfan Ardiansha, distinctive and easy to pick out, particularly in the sunlight as the sun bounces off that pink helmet. Andy Mohammed Fadli in a slipstream.
There's McLaren right at the back of the pack. She's that's not the equaliser. She's had some sort of issue with that, I would say. She's either run off, because you don't lose 3 seconds in the lap, so she's run off, or she's got some sort of mechanical issue with the machine. But she's definitely going to have to fight if she wants to win this one. Also
in that little group, you've got Rafik Topan Sosito on the Honda CBR 250. But Ayoshi as well in that second little group. I'm still looking backwards to bike number 44, taking my eye off the good work of Tachiko Boisri, who this time he's the man who's leading the way. Tachiko, he's picked up 2 podiums, a 3rd and a 2nd in his last 2 races, and that after a 4th in Adelaide. So he's in really good form, Tachiko. But the problem of being in good form is it does cost you.
It certainly does, and he could be the next one that gets the equaliser applied to him. But yeah, McLaren now, she was 5 seconds slower on that lap alone, so some sort of issue. We'll keep an eye on the lap times to see if it was just an off that she had, or an off-track excursion. We'll know quite soon.
As they come around, this is, well, some of the, that was Sentil had a look. McLaren coming into the pits.
Yep,
there's the answer.
Second mechanical problem for McLaren this year. That's really disappointing for her. She was, if I remember rightly, leading at the first race meeting of the year and had a DNF, and now she's got another DNF that looks, you've got the same mechanical.
That was their very relaxed entry into the pit lane as well. It looks like she's decided her race is done. If so, it's a mixed weekend for her, a 25-pointer followed by a nil point. As McLaren, rather sadly, you can tell, even with the visor, rather sadly comes into the pits and immediately disembarks.
She's not saying anything to anybody. No one's keen to go up and ask her what the problem is either. So, I don't know if it's obvious. Oh, big moment there in the back of the pack. Big moment there. Didn't quite catch the number of that bite, but it was somewhere around Lucky Hendriansaya. He was lucky to stay out of that. We've got another rider down. That looks like it's number 61. I think that is Cheryl Showers Yuzi, and you can just see there he's run off.
Rafid Topan it was who just clipped him. Rafid Topan's recovered.
Both of those guys look like they've been able to get back cleanly on the track, but let's just keep an eye on the 911 machine. Did he have a crash after that? Not quite sure.
In all the happenings behind him, easily going on very happily is Tachikon Bouazri. Tachikon is taking Irfan along with him, also taking Piawat as well.
Hey, and you wanted to know where Awan Sanjaya was. Well, look, looking at the tyre, let's just see if we can see something. It's not much wrong with that you can see. She's got a puncture. That's what's wrong. She's got a puncture. That tyre is flat.
Wow. Okay.
It looked like he pushed on it, and it looked like it deflated in, so it could be a puncture, which would explain 5 seconds a lap. Let's wait, and we'll hear more about that, but that's what it looks like at the moment. And you can see McClarter there in the pits. He just has to accept that one. That's, you know, there's debris on every racetrack, and you can be lucky or unlucky. It looks like she's got unlucky this time.
Now she was going backwards. You can see 1 or 2 pieces of debris floating around as well. Irfan had taken the lead temporarily, but soon caught up by an impressive effort from Tachikon Bouazri. We've not really spoken about him. Apologies to him, but with so much going on behind him, we've rather ignored the AP Honda Thai racer, but he's in a good little battle here with Irfan Ardiansa from Astra Honda Racing. Irfan, 2 third places so far, a 5th and a 6th as well. So he's having, sorry, a 6th and a 7th. He's having a reasonable season. He could well be adding a 1st or a 2nd here.
Well, you wanted to know where the Astra Racing team was. Well, I'll tell you what, they're coming now because they're in 2nd and 3rd. Awan Sanjaya is in 3rd position as well. Piawat is in 4th at the moment. Akiyoshi on the Kawasaki's gotten past his teammate Andy Fadley. So Astra Honda is on a move.
Now Vietnam, we had a brief little look at there. We're coming into corner 12. Irfan decides, I want that inside line. That's interesting. This could just be a bit of a rehearsal. Straight line speed coming out belongs to Tachikon. But that means Irfan Ardiansa is maybe just trying to work out his tactics for the last lap or so.
Yeah, Tachikon got a great drive out of that last corner and used a little bit of the slipstream to get past Irfan. But at this point of the race, with 5 laps to go, still quite a long way to go, they're almost working together, using the slipstream of each other to try and pull themselves away from the group, but it's not working because Awan Sanjaya, it's been a while since we've seen him on the podium. He's making his way forward.
Yeah, Awan Sanjaya, good point, well made. He's had a 16 at a third place in Sepang, but has been middle of the pack since then. And we were wondering, are Astra just building up towards a bit of momentum towards the latter stages of the season? We are in round 3 of 7 rounds in the AP 250s.
Well, Piawat's in that group as well, but keep an eye as the number 22 goes out. Unfortunately, that's the end of the day for Kevin Johnson. But yeah, keep an eye up front because Akiyoshi and Andy Fadley have got their Kawasaki's firmly in that group at the moment. Des looks like they're on a little bit of a charge. So it's not all Astra Honda and AP Honda at the moment.
Just mentioning a couple of the others we focused on before the race. Cal Vietnam is in 15th at the moment, nearly 7 seconds adrift of the leader. Setu Rajiv is holding on to 9th place, but is under pressure from Rafid Topan Susito, bike number 80 there. But this is the front end, and it's Irfan who's this time got the lead, and every time Irfan just seems to have the lead, then Tachikon just taps on his shoulder. But they've been caught now. Awan Sanjaya beginning to make a little bit of a move, as is Piawat and Ali Mohammed Fadli in there, and Ayoshi's in there as well. So 4 laps to go, and there is less than a second between bikes number 1 and bike number 8, Mohammed Farouzi Torakote.
Some pretty good lap times out there. Fastest lap that time through was Akiyoshi on the Kawasaki, 53.5. Compared that to Tachikon out front at 54.7 for him. So you can just see how much that slipstream makes, and if you can get a good lap or if you're having a battle, it does make a massive difference. And you can see that whole group now just tightening up nicely.
Andy Mohammed Fadli has a long way round, then takes the lovely apex. Has he got the right line coming out? Indeed he has, Andy Mohammed Fadli. He's had a fun weekend. ARRC in there as well. He crashed out yesterday, ARRC, being a little bit more circumspect today, but there once again is the straight line speed of Tachiko Mbwazri.
Yeah, it was a little bit of his own mistake yesterday for AsiaRoadRacing. He came out of this next turn, turn 5, too tight in my opinion, with too much lean angle. He won't do that again, I wouldn't think. He'll just use all of the track this time. He tried to nip up the inside of someone there, but you can see now he's taking that wide line and getting through that corner with no dramas at all. The only problem he's got is his teammate that wants to get in front of him.
Yeah, the Kawasaki's are really riling each other to get close, but it's still the man who's been first or second ever since the first lap, Tachiko Mbwazri. A good weekend for Tachiko.
Good to see Ferozi in the back of the pack too. Yamaha pride, so all the major brands in this group and in with a chance of a podium at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised to see Ferozi come through.
Ray Ratakuri's got himself up to 9th ahead of Setu Rajiv and Muzuke Mohammed, with Rafid Topan in 12th. Sutipak Kao Vietnam and Saopol completing the points. Saopol under pressure from Anki Setiawan, but at the lead as they come over the start-finish line. 3 laps to go. Arwin Sanjaya steps into the lead for the first time. 2 Kawasaki's in close proximity.
Well, as you said, he's had a podium, but he hasn't had a win in a while, Arwin Sanjaya, and I'm sure that will be on his mind at the moment. Astra Honda haven't had a win this year, I would say, so they need to get one, and here would be the place to do it, wouldn't it?
Former World Endurance Champion Steve Martin enjoying the racing going on here. There's some good dueling going on in this Asia Production 250cc. We have got 2 3/4 laps to go. Arwin Sanjaya gently leads the crew around the hairpin at the end of the long straight. Now they come back into the technical part of the course, running wide, all of the riders, but look how close that is. 1 through 9 in with a genuine chance of picking up a podium here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so difficult when you're in a pack like this. You know, you can drift to the back with about 3 laps to go. You're continually calculating. Okay, I'm in 9th now. I can pass about 3 people a lap. I need to make my way forward now or I'm not going to have a chance. The problem you've got is that everybody is thinking that same thing in the group, except the leader. The leader in this group goes, I'm in a pretty dangerous situation right now because everyone's going to attack me on the last lap. So he's actually hoping to be overtaken. There's no way he's going to be able to break away, so leading this group at the moment, probably not where you want to be. It sounds strange, but true.
That's the black helmet of Tachiko Mbwazri at the moment in the lead. He's got Arwin Sanjaya in close proximity. And it's Andy Mohammed, no, it's Andy Mohammed Fadli is the best of the Kawasaki's. Aishi has dropped down a little bit, very un-Fujiwara-like. He'll be making a charge soon if Fujiwara is the man he's got in mind. So then, congestion as they come into corner number 12 once again. No contact, it's a nice clean entry and exit, and it'll be Tachiko who leads from Arwin Sanjaya.
Well, 2 laps to go. Keep an eye on Ferozi on the Yamaha. He is starting to make his way forward. The only Yamaha in that group, so he's moved himself up in the 5th position at the moment. He's got a really good drive onto that back straight. But it's Tachiko out front with Arwin Sanjaya in second. That's a pretty decent lead for Tachiko at the moment.
Bike 12, Lucky Hendriansha, Astra Honda Racing, 1 in Sepang. Keep an eye on him. He's been quietly just moving up the back of that little group of 8 or so. He's in 6th at the moment, but he temporarily went into the lead before he was swallowed up. But I think he's having a look at a podium finish. They all are having a look at a podium finish.
Yeah, definitely it's going to be out of this front group now. No chance at all that Ray Ratakuri can make his way through from 9th position. So there's 8 in this top group, all battling it out for podium glory. One thing's for sure, we know 5 of them won't be standing on the podium, 3 of them will.
Further down, Setu Rajiv is dropping down. Kao Vietnam holding on to 14th place. For the women, Liu Jianmei and Miu Nakahara, they're battling out for P19 with Senthil Chandrasekaran. But this is the front and the black helmet of Tachiko Mbwazri, who's been there or thereabouts, first or second throughout the whole of this race. But now we dropped into 3rd behind Irfan Ardiansha, and Arwin Sanjaya looks like he's in the mood.
Well, it's been a while. The last time that team had a 1-2-3, I think, was a year ago in Australia. So a 1-2 would be just nice today. So good to see the Astra Honda team back where they were last year and where they think they belong. Tachiko now is just giving it everything he's got. Earthan's having a good shot at this too.
Arwin Sanjay it is who leads coming into the final lap. He will cross the start-finish line in the lead. The lead, though, is 0.202 of a second from Ardianta. Ayoshi third, Tachiko fourth, Barosi, Andy Mohammed Fadli within a second. Lucky and Pirwat also in there. Those top 8 are going to be the podium. Pirwat slightly being dropped off those first 8, though. Arwin Sanjay leads the way with Irfan right on his shoulder.
Certainly is, but the man in the best position, in my opinion, at the moment is the man on 149. That is Busarai as he comes through and up the inside, can't quite do it. Earthan was very good on the brakes there, but everyone where they need to be. The Kawasaki right up the inside there. Not sure if that's Fadli or
Iyoshi, I think it was.
Iyoshi.
No, it's Andy Mohammed Fadli,
yeah.
Apologies.
Well,
Iyoshi makes the move this time, and different lines, using the whole width of the track.
all pretty clean racing at the moment, though, on this last lap as they head into one of the final braking areas. It is Tachikorn up the inside. That was a good, clean move, and he's right where he needs to be. Akiyoshi loses a lot in the back there. He's got work to do now, but the Astra Hondas that were looking so good coming into the start of this lap have drifted back.
That could well be a fatal error from Akiyoshi. Andy Mohammed Fadli is the best of the Kawasaki's. He's in second place. Ahead of him, though, he has got Tachikon Bouazri, the black helmet. It's Tachikon who leads the way as we're into the final half lap of the race. Tachikon, who's led from the very, very first corner, been in this leading group, under pressure, though, from Andy Mohammed Fadli.
Keep an eye on Andy Fadli. He was in this same position yesterday when he made contact. He won't make that mistake again today. He's in the perfect position to dive up the inside. He's put himself in the braking area, but Tachikorn moves to the outside. Watch the Yamaha man on the inside. He can't do it. Tachikorn's late. Can he hold the line? He does. Oh, everybody's through. It's clean. Tachikorn, what a brilliant ride. He takes the win.
Tachikorn from Arwin Sanjay, from Fairozi, from Irfan, Andy Mohammed Fadli, Ayoshi, a frustrating 6, Pirwat and Lucky Hendriansa, bike number 12 finishing in 7th, Ratakore, Rafi Topan 9 and 10, Muzike, Setu Rajiv 12, Sutipat 13, Cal Vietnam 14, Nazrul is at 15, but lovely clean riding, a lot of high fives going on amongst the riders, but Maglada Sarkwek, she is left pointless, and she will lose her place at the top of the standings.
Yes, she will, but you know what? I'm not so sure that that was her fault. It looks like she might have hit some debris. I don't think it was a bike issue looking at it now, because she didn't really give an indication that it was a bike. They were looking at that rear tyre, and it looked like there was a hole in the tyre, which is probably caused by picking up a piece of debris. That could happen to anybody. Just one of those things. When you go bike racing as close as this and the bikes are collecting each other, sometimes bits and pieces break off or come off, and if you run over them, it doesn't matter what tyre you've got, just like on the road, you can get a puncture.
It's a really good weekend for Tachikon Bouazri, the AP Honda Thai racer. He's picked up 45 points this weekend, having picked up 29 in Adelaide, moves on to 74 points and immediately comes into championship reckoning.
And you want to know how good he is? I'll tell you now. He did his fastest lap on the last lap in all that chaos, so a great result for him. But look at McLeod. What do you think she's thinking there?
Well, what might have been, perhaps.
Well, I'll tell you what she's thinking. We're heading to Suzuka next, and that's where she had her big crash last year, so she's got to try and get over that.
Here are the results. Tachikon Bouazri wins it by 0.3 from Arwin Sanjay, Mohammed Fairouzi and Irfan Ardienta. And Mohammed Fadli, good day for the Indonesians. Not a win, but 2 through 5. Ayoshi picking up a 6 again. Frustrating for him on the Kawasaki. Pirwat and Lucky Hendriansyah. Really good day for Indonesia in this AP 250. They've got 5 of the top 8 Honda CBR 250 for Lucky Hendriansyah. Below them, Ray Ratukori, Rafi Topan, Muzike, Setu Rajiv in the points. Setu Rajiv on the Honda CBR 250 was in 8th place at one stage, started on P7, just drifted down to P12 by the end. Sutipat, Cal Vietnam once again picking up points. Cal Vietnam has picked up points in every single race this season, but might have wanted a few more than this. Liu Junmei winning the battle with Nakahara in the battle of the women for P19. Senthil Chandrasekaran just in between them in the Idemitsu Honda Racing India. Stuart Johnson, he went out, as did his brother Kevin, as did McLaren, as did Charles Chazras.
First Yamaha podium of the year too, which was good to see from Ferozi. Good to see McLaren there coming out to the podium as well to celebrate.
McLaren was on pole. Here are the highlights for the Asia Production 250cc. It got off to a nice clean start, but McLaren with an equalizer issue, not getting up to the best start for their second time, but she was leading throughout most of the first lap. But there was clearly some slight difference, and then she had a little bit of bad luck.
Yeah, not too sure what that problem was yet, but we think that she may have got a slow deflation of the rear tyre, but we'll have to wait and see. But at this point in the race, Akiyoshi had a lot of work to do. Coming from the crash that he had yesterday, he was way back in the pack. Andy Fadley, another guy that had some work to do. Earthan was up the front. Awan Sanjaya was in the mix as well. It was good to see the Astra Honda riders making their way forward. It looked like at one point they were going to be in for a 1-2, but then disaster for McLaren, the number 44, coming in, the team looking at the bike, trying to decipher what the problem was. Big battles ensued throughout, and we had one of the riders, of course, that was number 61, Cheryl Yuzi, who went down.
However, we really kind of rather ignored the really good work of Tachiko Mbwazri. We were so interested in what was going on behind him that he was consistently 1, 2, 3. Yes, he'd lose it here or there, but each time we'd look, he'd take it back from Irfan Hadiancha. When Owen Sanjay had a little pop at him, back came Tachiko, and it was really an excellent performance by the man in the black helmet.
Certainly was. He was smooth, clean, stayed out of trouble, and when it looked like someone was going to get past him, he had an answer for it, and he certainly did. He made a little bit of a break, and then it was Ferozi up the inside as well on that final lap. But over the line, Tachiko Pusarai takes a checkered flag in what was a brilliant ride by him. Unfortunately for McLaren, she gives us the 1. She'll be back next time.
For Tachiko, and I can tell you he will move into 4th place in the standings, but he won't be affected by the equaliser. It is all very interesting now. It's a very congested title race, which is exactly what it's designed to be with this equaliser ruling.
Yeah, well, we haven't really seen the full effect of it yet. I'm looking forward to coming in, but really looking forward to the future.
Okay, we can go down to the trackside where Wheeling is about to embark on the interviews and also the podium presentation.
Begin the podium ceremony for the Asia Production 250cc Race 1. Coming in 3rd place today, Muhammad Fairozi Torekotula from Yamaha Racing Indonesia. In 2nd place today, Awin Sanjaya from Astra Honda Racing Team. And today's Asia Production 250cc Race 2 winner, Tachiko Mbwazri from AP Honda Racing Thailand. We'd also like to invite the team manager from AP Honda Racing Thailand to join the riders on the podium. We will now stand for the national anthem of and Boxing Department of the Sports Authority of Thailand to present the riders with their trophies. Coming in 3rd place today from Indonesia, Muhammad Fairozi Torekotula.
โพเดียมอันดับที่ 3 นักแข่งจากอินโดนีเซียครับมูฮัมหมัด Torekotula.
In 2nd place today from Indonesia, Awin Sanjaya.
โพเดียมอันดับที่ 2 นักแข่งจากอินโดนีเซียอาวินซันจายา
In And today's race winner from Thailand, Thachakon Brasri.
และเจ้าของวินเนอร์โพเดียมครับทัชกรบัวศรีจาก AP Honda Racing Thailand.
And the best team award today goes to AP Honda Racing Thailand.
และทีมอวอร์ดวันนี้ครับผม AP Honda Racing Thailand.
Our thanks to Tanukat Junchum from the Sports Authority of Thailand. Excellent performance by Thachakon Boisri, who moves into 4th place in the overall standings. Good weekend for Mohammed Fairouzi as well. He's a 3rd place here. Arvind Sanjaya, his best performance of the season for Arvind Sanjaya. He had a P3 in Sepang. He's added a 2nd place here. It's really congested in the championship standings. Andy Mohammed Fadli takes the lead for the first time on the Kawasaki. 87 points, 1 clear of Maklada, who had a pointless afternoon today. Ayoshi is 3rd on 78, just 4 ahead of Thachakon Boisri, who himself is just 8 ahead of Arvind Sanjaya. Irfan Ardiansa within 2, within 3, Lucky Henry Answer. Mohammed Fairouzi is in 8th place on 53 points. So there's 26 points separating the top 6. Ray Ratakori on 42. Muzake and Piawatu picked up points today. Nazrul is at 12th. Cal Vietnam in 13th, picked up points every race this season. Setu Rajiv also picking up points today for the Idemitsu Honda Racing India team on 22. Rafi Topan Susito is a little bit further down. Okay, so that's the AP 250. Good stuff going on, and the season is perfectly poised going into Suzuka. Coming up after the break, we get the bigger boys coming onto the track. We've got the Super Sport 600 followed by the Superbikes. That's coming up in the Idemitsu Asia Road Racing Championship.